Welcome back to Fairy Tail Anime Review, episode number 22. This one I'm reviewing the 290th episode of the anime, Fairy Heart. This one adapts chapters 451 to 452. Pretty much it starts out with the conclusion to the Fairy Tail Zero flashback. Well, the follow-up to it, where Zeref just comes back to Fairy Tail Hall. Excuse me. Sees Master Hades. Well, this guy won't become Master Hades for another century. Just drops off Mavis, plops her on the ground right in front of him, and he just wanders away. Here's who he is. That's who he is. Zeref's like, really? You're Zeref? Yeah, because I'm sure he's heard of him. Like, everybody's heard of Zeref. But he knows that this guy is the Black Wizard Zeref. So he kept it a secret, the whole thing. He puts him in basically it's explaining how she got in the Lackerman, and the fact that he kept it secret. And well, I could explain why like almost every single game master says him has known about the Lackerman. Yep. So after Mavis finished concluding the flashback, some things a little bit revealed here. We also get a chance to know about the other members of the Spigot 12. Well, we've already seen at least two of them, or at least about 3 or 4 of them already. You have August, who is known as, I think he's known as the Wizard King. You have God Serena, Brandyish, yeah, a woman who, Urza, Lucy, Gray, Wendy, like pretty much Team Natsu have already encountered this guy already. Encountered her already on that island. The Desert King, Agil. Plus, of course, they're not the only ones. We also see Demaria. Well, I think this is her debut in this episode, yeah. And apparently Brandyish, her nickname is the Country Demolisher. Yeah. Dwayne John's name is Avro Ura. And it's hinted that he might be ice wizard. So that'd be somebody that Gray says to himself like, this would be somebody I could take on. Of course, Natsu says he'll take on Zeref himself. And of course, this is of course toward the end of the episode where Makarov is explaining what they're up against, which perfectly reasonable. And of course, while this is going on in the Alvarez Empire, Zeref is explaining everything to, like they're going to launch a full-scale invasion of the continent to take the Fairy Heart, but also wipe out the population of the continent. Yeah, and I love the little funny faces that these characters make. Heck, even at the Fairy Tail is like, everyone's always like the dull surprise look, which is so funny. I thought, yeah, I'm thinking that it's not only the Fairy Tail Guild that's doing it, it's like Mavis doing it, Urza, but also apparently Brandyish and Demaria also do it too, which I think is so funny. Yeah. Plus, they also mention a few other people: Baldman, Nineheart, and Wallace. Wallace, you've actually seen this episode. Yeah, he's a big, bulky guy. Not like muscle, more like he's slightly overweight. And he's one of the Sprocket 12. And apparently Zeref only managed to have about 7 of them show up. Yeah, 7. Yeah. So, they also have it where Natsu's arm, there's a secret weapon, and he's going to use it on Zeref. Because I'm sure he probably had on his mind that he really wanted to kill Zeref so badly, so he developed this special weapon to kill him. And I even like how Lucy says, Master? And then Urza, Makarov, and he was like, yes. And she's like, Gramps. Okay. Which I thought that was so funny. And I'm surprised, though, that the 4th Master didn't say that, too. Because you have 4 out of the official 5, at least 4 out of the 6 Masters. Gildart is nowhere to be seen in this episode. I'm hoping that Makarov manages to contact him and say, hey, can you come, probably over like a special magic communication, like, hey, can you hurry back to the Fairy Tail Guild? Because we're about to be invaded by the Alvarez Empire. I'm sure that Gildart has probably heard of the Alvarez Empire. But once he says, hey, also, the Alvarez Empire is led by Zeref. He's like, oh crap, I better head home right away. I'm hoping that happens, but yeah. And of course, next week's episode is the invasion. Yep, the invasion episode. It's gonna be like a night before the actual invasion happens. But this was a pretty good episode. Not much action per se, but it's more set up for it later. But it also wraps up the Fairy Tail Zero follow-up two-parter. Yeah, it's the conclusion to, like I said, the Fairy Tail Zero follow-up. Yep, and they also mentioned what happened to Yuri Makarov's father. Apparently, he died at a young age, prematurely. It says he doesn't know what happened to his wife. And of course, Mavis still didn't say anything about how Lox's look was exactly like Yurif. Yeah, I'm I don't know. She doesn't. As far as I can tell, she has had interaction with Loctus, but how come she's never told him that he looks exactly like his great grandfather? I don't know why it's so bizarre. Yeah. Of course, also when they see Hades in flashback, when you last see him, he actually looks like the way he did when he appeared in the Tenor Island arc. Yep. Otherwise, though, that's really it. It's just a really good episode. Good character. It's more like giving a lot of exposition. But starting next week, even though that this episode and the previous one only adapt only 2 chapters, starting with next episode, it's back to adapting 3 chapters. But for the dub, mind you, since the fact it's up to 252, what do you think here? Last week is only like 95 chapters left because, well, they already adapted 455, and the series is only 545 chapters long. So, I think there's overall about 93 chapters left to go to be adapted. Yep, 93 to go. Which, yeah, I think I kind of predict in my head that because the fact there's like this many episodes, that with the whole thing of going up to 3 chapters, so it's not that surprising for these two to only do just 2 chapters. Probably because they want to have this thing where you have like 3 chapters of the story and like 1 chapter in the next episode. I kind of get the reason why they did this. Yep. So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned next my review of the newest chapter of Boruto. Yeah, that came out, and I'm looking forward to talk about this thing. Okay, but do you see next review.